What's the most ridiculous rule you've had to follow at a job? 1. I was once told I wasn't allowed to drink out of a water bottle while working without a doctor's note saying that I needed to. I was a minimum wage cashier at a grocery store. Was a pretty funny doctor's appointment that followed. 2. At one of my earlier jobs, I had to follow a lunch bell like I was in school. Except I worked in the lab, and sometimes the testing I had to do made me miss the lunch bell and so I would eat later. People reported me. So I ended up delaying testing to meet the lunch. Production went down a lot, but at least I followed the lunch bell. 3. People who discovered a spill have to stand next to the spot until maintenance comes back with a broom or mop. As the only one working maintenance, I got shouted at in this order by my manager. If there's a spill, you need to go get the mop. Why did you go get the mop? You are supposed to stand next to it. When I said, maybe you should hire a second maintenance person then. The look on her face every time I said this was priceless. 4. I got in trouble for having my 16-year-old daughter walk behind me while having a Zoom meeting. By my manager, who had her 7-year-old walk in, ask a question of said manager, at which time she stopped the meeting to answer her daughter's question. I was actually written up for mine. I quit on the spot after being written up and went on a tirade against the manager. No regrets. 5. I worked in an upscale flower shop during college and we weren't allowed to sit, even when the store was empty, which it was for the majority of the day, since most people called in. So all the chairs were essentially decorative because we had to look busy for the customer that wasn't there, I guess. 6. At one job, we had a rule where no one could adjust their own office chairs. If you needed it higher, lower, or tilted differently, you had to submit a maintenance request. This wasn't just annoying. During busy periods, it could take days for someone to come adjust your chair. It felt absurd sitting uncomfortably while waiting for authorized personnel to make a simple adjustment. 7. If someone was banging on the door before opening time, we had to let them in. How about no? I'm getting my computer up and running, making sure the waiting room is tidy, getting my coffee and taking a dump. That door isn't opening until our office hours begin. 8. A friend just told me they would have cake in the break room for birthdays, but the time spent celebrating, awkwardly standing around with a slice of cake, would have to be made up at the end of the day. 9. Worked at a bakery where if we were there, doors had to be unlocked. Even if the store was closed. Even if we had no food. We also weren't allowed to tell customers if the store was closed. 10. I once had a job where we had to ask permission to use the restroom, even during breaks.